Very basic Toreando. I'm gonna go hand on the hip, hand on the knee, make an angle, move his legs, okay? It could be like this, okay, these are all fine, right? I can come out here and just redirect, put my shoulder on his hip, okay? Instead, I'm gonna put my hand on his hip, here, and inside of his knee to make him move, right? I need to get one leg down. All right, so from here, I'm gonna walk. So I have this angle and this posture where I'm about ready to dive in. This hand's gonna go from the top of his, or to the inside of his knee to the top of his knee. So I walk out here and hit him with my shoulder. Turn his hips away, okay? Finish here. Left hand, inside of the hip, inside of the knee. I'm not walking in here and doing this, okay? It will be no good. All right, outside of his feet, here. Pass, okay? Notice I have control of his hip here and I'm scooping at his hip on the other side. So if he tries to roll or to his knees, right, I have control. Gets to his stomach, up right back there, okay? I'm low. So it's not going to be easy whatever he tries to do. I have control here. We're going to do this for time. So 2 minutes each, 2 minutes to switch. Make my angle. All right. And make my angle. Okay. It's not hard. We're just making an angle and hitting him in the shoulder. I got to clear his feet, control his hips before I work to his head. Does everybody understand? So the way ultimately I would finish it, here, I control, he starts to get towards me, right, then I work towards his head, okay? Beat his hips first. Everybody good? All right, get your partners. 1, 2, 3. All right, hand on the hip, hand on the inside of the knee, right? I need to make an angle here, right? So when I'm out here, I know what's coming, which is this top leg. Right? I hit him low, okay? This allows me to control his hips at the inside and the far side, okay? So when he turns, so when I have this control, right, if he stays here, what happens? He gets his back taken, right? It's very easy for me to start working towards his back. It's not what he's gonna do, right? He's probably gonna try to turn. So when I have him here, he starts to turn, right? I'm on my toes. Okay, I'm blocking his inside hip and I'm controlling here. He's gonna try to turn towards me. I'm gonna feed my knee underneath. I'm not laying on the mat, I'm on my toes. I'm covering and I triangle his legs and I mount him, okay? And I just thrust my hips on him. So from here, right, he tries to move. There's no bridge here, okay? I really want to try to get right at his knees. I'm going to extend him, make him straight. So here, he turns, I hip into him here. I'm not trying to submit him, I'm not trying to hurt his knees. I'm triangling my legs, okay? And from here, I just work my way up, right? He's going to frame hard on my shoulders, right? I work my way in, get his collar, right? And I start to inch up in the mouth. Okay? Does that make sense? Go this other side. Here. Here. Cover. He tries to turn. So I'm underneath. I'm going to push the knee down as I bring my right knee underneath his. Okay? I lock a triangle and I drop my hips on his kneecaps. Okay? Turn. Here. I'm not trying to submit or hyperextend his knees. I just want him straight. Okay? It's just tight. Here. Okay? Now when he tries to escape, really nowhere for him to go. Okay? If he's framing, push up on him. Yep. I can work on inside position, or I can grab on the outside of his shoulders and pull him in. Okay? And then I work for one up by his collar. Now I start to come up, I inch up in the mouth. Right? Does that make sense? Any questions? Yes.
What if he just doesn't turn hard and he double frames on your back? Are you going cross after he turns into you?
This is when he turns into me.
Okay.
If he's turned away from me, I'm gonna take his back.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, obviously, right? So if he's framing hard on my back.
Yeah, just
okay?
pushing you away.
I just stay here, right? Keep moving. Turn it into a leg drag.
Okay.
Okay? This is for when he turns towards me, okay? So a lot of you guys, you may not turn his legs as far as you want every time you do this pass, all right? And he's gonna turn hard to try to face, okay? Let me do, probably this way, right? So let's do that. Right. So I'm gonna hit him, I'm underneath, okay? I collapse on his hips, he turns in, I hop, see on my toes, I step over, triangle my legs, and then I just shoot my hips into his knees. I'm not trying to hyperextend them, just hold them, okay? Hold tight, get control the sleeves, and shove in the mouth. Does that make sense? Any other questions?
So from a size difference, if they're really long legged and you're short, like, are you worried about getting?
That's something you're gonna have to judge in the situation.
Yeah.
If you turn his knees, you can take his back, number one, right? Number two, you can see another option where I took the leg drag, depending on if he's fighting that, right? So if I'm in, turn this right here, good. So here, he's trying to fight, right? I can start to turn, step my knee through here, and finish in a leg drag too, holding down, right? Now, behind him, seatbelt, okay? Just like we've done other times. If it doesn't work on every opponent, that's okay, because you might run into situations where you just physically can't from who you're grappling with. That's okay. But it's an option on a lot of folks from this particular pass. Right? Everybody good? All right, get your partners. 1, 2, 3. All right, so turns, right? Lock it up, okay? A lot of times I'll control the outside of his gi and pull it in, and I work for one on his head. Once I have this, or his collar, that's fine, okay? From this grip, once I have his collar, now I'm gonna take my bicep under his elbow, here, and then I inch my way up, okay? So once we're here, I start to work to his armpit, and I'm gonna start to crawl that elbow up. Okay, watch your elbow. Yeah, you're good. There, trap it, put my forehead on the mat, make a fist. I want the cutting bone of my forearm under his neck. I'm gonna windshield wipe my left leg to like knee on belly, then off, and I'm gonna set my chest on his shoulder as I lay down. My left elbow stays on the mat the whole time. And choke. That's how that choke's done. I don't rip his head off by squeezing. Okay? The choke is done with pure body pressure from my chest and shoulder. And my grip with my bicep on his neck. I'm not squeezing his head with my arms. Turns. Alright, set it up. Okay? Get control. I control here. Come up under his elbow. Inch up. Walk. Here. Okay? Keep his shoulder trapped. Forehead goes to the mat so he can't pass his arm above my head. If I keep my head up here, it gets out. Forehead on the mat, windshield wipe the leg. My thumb would be pointed to the ceiling. I make a fist. Head's on the mat. I walk out. 45 degrees, I'm gonna set my chest on his shoulder. That's what finishes the choke, not me squeezing his head. I finish it off by flexing my right bicep, that's it. If you need two hands, you're doing it wrong, okay? Any questions? All right, get your partners, finish that on that. 1, 2, 3.